Hello and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I am your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today, I'm tired. It's been a long day of moving boxes because I am the box wrangler.
The box whisperer.
Yeah, or at least that was my title before my supervisor boss person. I have like 3-4 different bosses with different hierarchies above each other, and the under supreme one.
Right. The under supreme one.
Yeah, there's like the CEO who, you know, where I work, the business is so small I can walk directly into his office without any resistance. Because, you know, when you hear the word CEO, you're thinking, ooh, some big old skyscraper. He's at the penthouse. You got to get through like 25 battalions just to get to him.
Do you have an appointment?
Yeah, not to mention the legion of secretaries that person has.
The legion.
Oh, yeah, a legion.
Absolutely.
At minimum, a legion.
Absolutely.
But no, the CEO at where I work, yeah, you can walk into his office, you can talk to him like an actual human being.
Awesome.
Now, whether you want to do that, that's an entirely different sort. But
you have the ability to.
But I have the ability to, which is way different.
Without storming the castle.
Without storming the castle.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Eh.
Yeah, like I said, whether or not you want to talk to him, that's different, but whatever. So he's the supreme one. And then,
dun 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 dun
yeah.
dun dun.
He's not Palpatine.
Oh, all right.
No, I respect him too much to be Palpatine. He's a pain in the ass, but I respect him.
Yeah, sure.
And then there's technically his equal, who is the co-owner of the company, except he's a lot softer. He's the face. He's the customer service guy.
Oh, okay.
You see, the primary person, he's very business-minded, very number-oriented, the type of person who he'll ask you a question, but he already knows the answer, but he's a dick about it.
Is he an enforcer?
To an extent. I mean, he's an old man.
So there's like the third one? Because there's like the Supreme Being.
There's the Supreme Being. No, I'm still talking about the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
You said he was softer, though.
I don't want to I'm trying not to say these guys' names.
Don't.
The co-owner, he is technically on the same level as the Supreme one because he has like the other 50% of the company.
Uh-huh.
He's just the customer service guy.
Who has the better office?
They have the same office.
Oh, they're in the same room?
No, not the same room, but the same dimensions.
No. Windows. Windows tells you who owns what.
The CEO has the one window.
Ooh, that's right. Who has the better view?
Technically is the Supreme.
There
Technically
you
is
go.
the CEO. Okay. All right. So now we have. Okay. We have the hierarchy, which is the Supreme one. And then there's slightly under him, which is the co-owner, who is the customer service guy.
No.
He's a good guy. I suspect that. Listeners, I know you can't see Scratch's face, but
What are you getting ready to say?
I'm trying to be diplomatic about it.
I don't know. You better leave that alone.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, do I really want to broach this subject this
You might
early?
be more direct about it, but they're all thinking the same thing.
No.
Oh.
He's tactful. I'll give him that. Basically, what I'm trying to broach, listeners, is I'm a young lass. He's somewhere in his, I want to say, he looks like he's in his 50s, but there's no way he's in his 50s. He's got to be older.
Yeah.
He's at least tactful. I'll give him that, because I have encountered people who are not tactful, and they get slapped into the ground.
Yeah.
Like, not physically sometimes, but verbally get slapped into the ground. He's at least tactful.
Yeah, don't be lazy and bring your A game, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. He's not a jerk. He's just very soft and compassionate.
Does he have a CNI dog?
No.
Then yes, he feels that way.
I figured.
if his eyes work and he sees you.
I get it.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Well, that's cool that he's tactful about it.
Yeah, he's tactful. Yeah, I mean, like nothing weird. Just the anytime I see him,
Especially nowadays.
Yeah, where people just lose their damn minds.
You gotta watch that stuff.
No, at the very least, nothing weird. Just anytime, he and I in the same room, he's just very soft and mellow and very complimentary.
Yeah.
And thankfully, he's from an older generation, so he knows how to be somewhat charming to where I don't immediately go, "Get away from me, old man." Just pull out my knife, and I'm like, "I'm gonna mug you."
I'll cut you.
I'll cut you, I'll mug you, take your wallet.
Leave you for the vultures.
Soon enough.
Soon.
No need to expedite the process.
Yeah, he's coming to the Reaper one way or the other.
Yeah, I don't need to Amazon Prime him to God.
Hey, that's free.
It's free real estate. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
6 feet of dirt.
Yeah, I hope the listeners could hear me, because that was a little far away.
No, I heard you.
All right, no, you heard me.
I heard
just
you.
after the post
microphone picked it up.
the post process, will you still hear me? That's the other question.
Oh yeah. Sure.
But anyway, oh, hang on, I'll do a little better to look. All right, look, right in there for the ASMR. This is how you do ASMR. Listen to me. It's free real estate. That's what I said. That's how you do ASMR.
Oh, okay.
Like that. Feel it in your brain.
Yeah.
That's ASMR.
Oh, okay.
It sounds that trigger that sensation in your brain. It helps some people sleep. The same reason why people use white noise or pink noise or whatever.
In my day, we called it a whisper.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so you have the Supreme one, the co-owner, and then under them is, okay, let's see. There was one guy. He was the third in charge. He was in charge of the technicians in the field, except he is now passed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know him. Well, you never met him, but you've heard me talk about him.
Yes.
I liked him. He was very funny. Technically there is a guy that replaced him, but if I'm gonna be honest, that guy is borderline useless. The guy replacing him.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a standard set before that's the whole thing about following someone who is really strong.
Yeah.
Who probably is not
So you sound a little echoey.
A complete, punk about it.
Yeah, now I sound a little echoey.
I don't know.
We're still trying to get the microphone situation set up, listeners. We're technically using one microphone.
Yes.
So if you've ever listened to any of the stuff in the past and you're like, what's this? That's why. It's still the reason why.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so, just hypothetically, you never know.
Never know.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see.
Third guy in charge.
Third man in charge is useless, so he doesn't even count anymore. So now, under the co-owner and the supreme one is the technically most experienced person in both of the buildings. I'm talking...
Other than the CEO owner.
Like a technician.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Someone that fixes stuff.
Like the person on the front line?
Not front line. Basically, he knows how to do his job to the point where he just tells other people how to do their job.
Oh.
If there's a problem...
No, that's cool. I mean, you got to understand how things operate.
Yeah, except...
You just like trying to tell people what to do. No, I know this job.
Yeah.
I know how it needs... I know more optimally than you how to perform it.
Mm-hmm.
Here is some advice. There you go.
Yeah, except he is even more of a pain in the ass than the Supreme one.
Really?
I have no... Seriously, how much more straightforward and much more of a pain can you be than an old man?
I resemble that remark.
No, you're not a boomer.
No, I'm not a boomer.
No, you're not a boomer. This guy, the Supreme one is a boomer. How are you more obstinate than him? I say to this third person in charge. who I refer to technically as the supervisor.
You know, a lot of people, that type of frustration comes out because they feel insecure.
Yeah, I have to. He's not bad at his job, not in the least bit. But sometimes I get the impression of, are you power tripping, bro? Are you power tripping, bro? I mean, yeah. I mean, he is from the north.
Where's he from?
Ohio. Yeah. No offense to some folk in Ohio.
You Ohio people are crazy, and you know it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not Florida crazy, but you're up there.
No,
you're in the top
there.
5.
No.
Top 5 craziest states in America, you're in the top 5.
I think so.
Yeah.
I've worked in...
Florida's number 1, but you're definitely in the front runner.
I've been to Florida. I've worked in the Northeast. I've worked in Ohio. Worked in California. Ohio is that weird.
It's weird.
It's that weird kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like where we are here in our command center, in the general area, crazy people. And I mean,
they're usually either anti-dentites, as you mentioned.
Usually, exactly. There's some type of substance-related thing going on, like alcohol or some kind of non-organic narcotic.
Sometimes actual organic narcotic.
Well, sometimes. But Ohio, so I've dealt with a lot of psychiatric, quote-unquote, psychiatric patients across the country. I did notice that Ohio folk were a little different.
Yes.
Their type of crazy was not based solely on some type of substance related or situational related. They were like run through the woods naked for 3 days crazy.
Just cuz?
Yeah.
Like nothing would spur it, like drugs or anything?
They would just bring people in. It was the first time that I saw on a regular basis people literally being handcuffed face down on a backboard and an EMS, a spider strap. I don't know if you've ever been backboarded and placed into the back of an ambulance. If you've been in a car accident, they put a C-collar on you to stabilize your neck.
Because that's important.
Because that's very important.
Very.
Another reason you need to, once you have a car accident, unless you absolutely positively have to get out of the car, you need to stay put.
I learned that.
Yep. But they would bring these people, and so they'll put you on a backboard, and it's called spider straps. It's this arrangement of heavy, thick Velcro straps where they secure you to the board. So
a modern day straitjacket.
Pretty much. They would bring these people in from when I was in Ohio, working in Ohio, and I mean, like face down, spider strapped. And there was usually a pair of police handcuffs somewhere in the mix.
Dang.
Not the pink fuzzy kind either.
That's a paywall story.
Yeah, it's definitely a paywall story.
Ugh.
So yeah, they were good folk. I mean, you know, we were in that campground and we hung out with them. Pretty cool.
I learned how to swim up there.
Yeah. You know, wake up about 7 o'clock in the morning and you start hearing those cans of beer getting popped. You're like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, it's beer.
Oh, yeah. It took me a while. It took me a couple of weeks to figure it out. I was like,
what's going on?
I mean, it kind of sounded like a stick snapping, like somebody stepped on it, but it was more metallic.
Yeah.
And then there was this release of pressure or something. But, they roll out of bed and start.
It's not soda, folks.
No, it's not. It wasn't soda.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't hate him. He just gets on my nerves something awful. And every time it happens, I have to wonder 2 things. One, are you power tripping? You don't need to. You've got it. You're fine.
Right, exactly. You don't need to throw your weight around.
We're not disagreeing with the fact that you are the most experienced person on hand, because you are.
Because you are.
Like, I'm not debating the fact that you don't know what you're doing. I'm not debating the fact that you know what you do. Yeah. I just wonder, like, are you okay? At home.
Do you need a timeout?
Do you need Do you need a timeout? Do you want to talk? You know, you okay, bro?
See a single dudes?
No. I don't want to give too many details.
Oh, okay.
You know, I got nothing. Like I said, got nothing against the guy, but you know, if he hears back from this, I'm gonna get it. Not get nothing bad.
No, I've just noticed.
I'm just gonna get a phone call at 9 a.m. one day, and it's like, hey. I heard you talking some and I have to go, yes, supervisor person, and yes, I was not lying.
No.
You want to come down here and talk about it?
Oh, there's a lot of people that,
I didn't give out your name, you idiot. Whatever.
Off the clock outside of work, they don't have any control. They don't have any power. And then when they go to work and hit that clock, all of a sudden they've got this position that they just pound people up, beat people upside the head with it. You know, that's unfortunate.
I believe in. I'm not saying he'll do it. That's a concern of mine because I personally believe once you hit the clock or whatever your equivalent is.
Yeah.
You know, once you tap into work or professional mode, that's you.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
You know, you leave all your issues at the door, whatever is ailing, and you just move on.
Yeah. No, I know all about that.
Yeah, don't bring your super duper big problems to work, because I don't. As far as I know personally, there's 2 buildings where I work. I might have mentioned that. The other building that I don't work in, they have no idea about my car wreck. Even a month and a half later, they got no clue.
Should they?
No.
Eh.
I mean, if they ask where I got the car, I'll tell them or forward them the podcast because that's what I did that for. But no, the other thing I have to wonder about the supervisor person, technically third person in charge, is here's the thing: he doesn't work in my building, so whenever he comes down to try to quote unquote streamline a process, yes, it works. And yes, my building, we don't like change, and we don't, because change is scary. Change means someone's about to get fired. Well, change means somebody done screwed up, and we, my building, have to pick up the pieces, because that's what we do.
Yeah, change for the sake of change is a waste of effort.
Exactly. And
it really is.
And that's why I have the biggest gripe, is sometimes things, I'm not saying things don't need to change, but small increments. Because like I said, if something were to at my building, we have to basically just, how do I be diplomatic about this? You know those special need kids at school?
Yeah.
Okay, that's basically our job, but on a national level. We have to we have to treat every single person that works under us in the field, like across the country, California, New Mexico, Texas, Florida, whatever.
Right. We
have to treat every single one of them like special needs toddlers.
But if you do, you will receive this adorable blanket.
No joke, we have to treat some people like that. I'm not joking. Some people deserve it. I'm not going to name names.
Some people...
But Miami definitely deserves it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that would be the negative.
That's the negative.
So the positive...
The positive people are the people we don't have to worry about. They tell us when they need something. They tell us when there's a problem.
So they've earned it.
They've earned the right for us to not treat them like children.
I got you.
Dumb children. Not necessarily special needs, but just dumb in general.
Slow children playing.
Yes.
They have their own sign and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So anytime there's like a big radical change, it usually sends signals to us that means, oh, one of the dumb ones did something and now everyone is being corrected on it.
Well,
regardless of whether that's the situation or not, but it has happened enough times to where something even minute changes in our routine. We're just ready to start swinging.
there is this really dysfunctional dynamic to management where you need to change a trend.
Yes.
You don't need to change a tangent.
No.
A tangent is something that is usually singular, and the process. What happens is when you start going after tangents and not trends, is you start having these knee-jerk reactions. And you tweak it and tweak it and tweak it when you need to just set it up to run and allow it to run.
Yes.
You know, if your car runs rough in the morning when you get up and it's cold, you don't turn it off and crank it and turn it off and crank it and turn it off and crank it.
To run.
You allow it to run. You
Preach!
You crank it up.
Preach, brother! And,
just let it run. And it'll smooth out over time.
Testify!
Yeah, that's a terrible dynamic.
Yeah, it doesn't happen all the time, but when it happens, like we just
I can tell you that
lose our friggin' minds.
It's kind of it's all over the medicine field. I can tell you that in my time in medicine and nursing. Excuse me.
Tell them about the sleep study couple.
Sleep study couple.
It was like the two nurses were involved. No, it wasn't a sleep study. That's from House. Like they were involved a certain way, and they had to bring everyone in.
Oh,
that story.
Oh,
tell them about that. It's a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Okay. A lot of the stories that you've heard, if you've been involved in anything near hospitals, are like ambulances. There's always a bed nearby.
This is technically true.
And there's something about people who are always horizontal working together that for some reason like to get, they're always vertical working together, but they
want to get horizontal.
They want to get horizontal, and for some reason they can't wait till they're off the clock. I don't know. It's like, hey, you know what? There's a bed right over there.
I don't know. Maybe it's a thrill of it, but I don't want to get too deep into that.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that comes to mind whenever I hear stories like that. It's like they couldn't wait to get off the clock, and I'm like, guys.
Really?
Stop.
So, and I mean, it's something about this, when you work, it's like when you work in these high stress jobs.
Yeah.
You really end up bearing your soul and occasionally your ass to people that you, if you didn't know, you really wouldn't give the time of day to. But I don't know, those types of traumatic interactions bonds people in a certain way. And I work in a department of about 70 people, and
give or take a person or two.
Give or take a person or two, and then all of a sudden these two individuals in our department, I can remember at least one of them was a registered nurse, and the other one I don't think was.
God, please tell me it was the doctor.
No. No.
Come on. That's so cliche.
It's very cliche. Usually the established doctors in an ER are a little older and have probably, I don't know, already been busted once or twice pulling that kind of stunt, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe it's
spitballing here.
Maybe it's a rite of passage.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm not a doctor.
There's this thing where when the spring comes around, because winters are usually pretty hard. I mean, you think summers are hard. Summers are hard, but there's for some reason, when you get off the clock, you can go unwind in a way that really allows you to continue to be functional. But winters,
you can't do that.
No, you can't. It closes people up in these really tight situations. When you come to work, it's dark. When you leave, it's dark. So most of that type of thing you're able to keep a lid on. But when spring rolls around, which as a biological species.
Yeah, I was about to say that that kind of does explain why I keep, anytime I study a particular religion or sect of spirituality, whatever, especially the pagan ones,
Yeah.
they will usually have their fertility days in the spring.
Well, they sure don't have them in the winter.
No. Typically in the winter, it's usually either spirits of the dead or eat.
Yeah.
Eat food.
Eat food.
Eat food, be good.
Because
you might not make it.
Because you might not make it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, definitely spring.
Definitely spring rolls around. People get
Osira? Ostara?
Osiris?
No, not Osiris. I just remembered American Gods. It was,
Easter?
The Easter lady.
Yeah.
Ostara. Yeah.
Fertility goddess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because spring.
You're
not locked up. It's not cold anymore.
No, absolutely.
And probably most of you died, so you gotta make more.
Gotta make more.
But anyway, sorry.
No, these two people, these two individuals, my coworkers, got caught in a compromising situation. I honestly and truly don't know. Mainly because I didn't want to know.
Well, yeah, that's not your business.
It's none of my business. Plus, I knew I was irritated enough.
Yeah, the fact that they were telling you about it.
The fact that my life was being impacted by the decisions of two other people.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I work a third shift. Like my fourth day in a row, this hardcore level 1 trauma center.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to go home.
Yeah.
The next thing I know, I'm being told I got to go to a boardroom with about 20 or 30 of my peers and to listen to this spiel about... They didn't bring up the situation, but we all knew the situation.
Well, of course you did.
Of course we did. So I'm going to tell you something, people. You become involved with nurses. Nurses talk.
You can't not talk.
You can't not talk. Nurses are connected in a way that you don't understand. I remember one time when I was working this job, and I decided to see how fast a rumor would get around the hospital. So
you timed it?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
I just casually mentioned it. I was a part of this was a different time. I was a part of a company that we would go in and do emergency staffing. So there would be like a crew of us that would go in.
The strike? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't know it was a forbidden.
That's correct. And I said something casually to somebody else. That
to time the rumor.
It wasn't salacious or anything like that. It was like, oh, I heard the job will be over in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that type of thing tends to travel fast and people are involved in it. 2 hours later, I get a phone call from our site manager. You some bitch. And I was like, what? She said, did you say blankety blank? I was like, well, actually I did. I said, I just wanted to see, because it was getting, nurses talk, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, nurses talk. Oh, you say something to a nurse here on the East Coast, within just a matter of hours, depending on the size of it, it can reach all the way to the West Coast. They are very interconnected.
So, basically, your current record is 2 hours.
2 hours, dude. Go through an entire hospital and her get like 50 phone calls. And tell about 27 people, no. And then she tracked it back and found that it came from the ER. And then when she came from the ER, she realized that I had said it.
Oh. And she was mad.
She was mad. She was like, who would make up such a...
You.
She loves me and I love her, and we are family and bonded in a way. She could eat at my table anytime and vice versa.
You still know her?
Oh yeah, we're friends on Facebook.
Oh, cool. Because I always like talking with nurses because I just love hearing the stories, especially the horrifying ones, which in my opinion. In my opinion, the horrifying ones are my favorite because no one else has those stories.
No one else has those stories.
I mean,
we don't tell you, the lay people.
No.
We don't tell, first of all, there's this element of trauma that kind of makes you forget the really, really bad ones.
Well, of course. That's why you gotta make the nurse or doctor, whoever, person in question, you gotta give them a couple of drinks so they'll tell you.
If you can find a nurse that'll turn down a drink you buy for them, I don't believe that person exists, I'm going to tell you.
Either that or they're not that type of nurse.
Or they don't have a pulse.
Yeah. Yeah, because the one story I always tell to everyone, and not unprecedented,
Sure.
not just
Sure.
unannounced, but if it comes up, I can remember getting a temporary tattoo at the dance studio, and all the ladies were telling their stories about their day and their job. One of them is an actual nurse, except I think she works at what's the cancer doctor called?
Oncologist.
Yeah, I think she does that.
Mhm.
Either that or she does.
That's tough.
Yeah, she either does that or she does some form of ICU.
Yeah.
But basically like an
See,
intensive care or something.
ER, I watch, I fight to save strangers.
Yes.
Cancer nurses,
No.
they get to know their patients.
Yeah, it's kind of in the same boat.
That's tough.
It's a similar boat as
Yeah.
what are those called? It's like the places you go to basically hospice.
Yeah.
It's in the same category as
Yes.
hospice.
Yeah, you get to know the person
And then they die.
and then they die.
Which
That's gotta suck. No, I mean my hat's off to them. That's tough.
Yeah,
That's tough.
yeah. I couldn't do that. Couldn't do pediatric because I'd be too busy killing people.
Oh yes, you would.
But they're talking about their day. The one nurse, she's talking about this one doctor who's dumb, which all nurses have a doctor who's dumb. Let's face
Absolutely.
it.
Yes. There's always one.
Yeah, there's always one. There's always one that makes you go, how can you breathe, much less go through medical school?
How'd you get to? You cheated.
Yeah, you cheated.
You cheated. I know you cheated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anytime anytime I go to someone like a sports nurse and they wrap a sprain the wrong way.
Yeah, backwards.
Backwards away from the heart instead of towards the heart. I have to go, who'd you sleep with?
Yeah, really.
Doesn't matter who it is, like dude, chick, whatever. Like you slept with someone to get this job, didn't you? Who was it? Yeah. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? Is it the cancer man? What did you do?
You work for Putin, don't you?
So they're all talking about their day and talking about their family, and I'm not dismissing any of this. But here's the thing. It's my turn now.
Right.
I tell the Mortal Kombat story. Let's phrase it. I call it the Mortal Kombat story.
Which one is that?
Oh, my dude. This is my number one favorite story because like I said, it's called the Mortal Kombat story for a reason. Okay. I don't remember all the details. You told this to me when I was like, oh my god, I had to have been like 10, 11, or 12, but I remember it because it was so cool.
Well, you jog my memory and we'll pull it out.
Oh yeah, it was something about, I don't remember where this was. All I remember is there was a kind of a middle-aged fellow who, he fell off, I think it was the back of a pickup truck, like a wrong way. Not enough to break a bone, but enough to where he fell a certain way, and when his buddies got him back up, he looked pale, he was not feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
So they brought him to the ER, and they're like, hey, our middle-aged bud, he was like 50 or something years old. Mm-hmm. He was, they ran tests on him, and one of the primary, I don't know what these things are called, or I don't know what their specific names are, but one of the artery valves connected to his heart had come loose, and he was bleeding into his chest cavity.
Oh yeah, an aortic dissection.
Yeah, something like that had happened after, because he fell in a bad way.
Yes.
So
that can happen.
Oh yeah. You got to be careful when you get up there in years.
Well, you feel you land a certain way, and all of a sudden you feel like you got a kidney stone in your back,
or something like that,
and you can't feel a pulse in either one of your arms.
That was the other thing. He was still walking and talking, but you couldn't get a pulse. You better
get to the hospital toots suite.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that was the other thing. That was that's something I forgot. The fact that he was walking and talking, but no one could get a pulse on him. Yeah. So once they figured out that he was hemorrhaging into his chest cavity, they prep an OR because, well, how else are you going to fix this?
Yeah.
So they get him into the OR, and I I don't remember if there was more than 2 people, you and the doctor in question.
Right.
So he's got the dude's chest open, and
that guy.
That guy.
That guy.
That guy. That's my favorite story.
Well, is that the one where I gave him the cardiac massage?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
it's bad for that dude, but I always love telling it just to see the look on people's faces, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, the heart in the air kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, I get it.
No. It's a bad thing to happen to somebody.
Well,
I just love telling the story.
Yeah, we had to crack that dude open and get into his chest. No, we weren't in an OR. We were in what's called a trauma bay. And,
okay.
The problem with all that fluid
Yes.
is it builds up pressure.
Yes.
So when you crack into that area, buddy, that stuff comes out of there like
it's supposed to.
Yeah. Comes out like a geyser.
Yeah.
It'll actually paint the ceiling above you.
Ooh.
And you in the process.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, I that's definitely one of those. That's one of those more extreme situations. A buddy of mine, we were doing this job in Washington D.C. and people in D.C. get shot like rain falls out of the sky.
It's just how it is, folks.
It's just how it is. And the press doesn't. There's so many people that get, there is, in Washington, D.C. is a city-state. Technically, it is not a part of the continental United States.
Which is weird.
It's very weird.
But I don't want to get into that.
There's 3 city-states. There's Washington, D.C., there's London City, and there's the Vatican.
But yeah, that's a paywall discussion.
That's a paywall discussion. But in D.C., Washington, D.C., the United States, the Constitution there does not apply.
Which again is weird.
Very weird.
Because that's where literally everyone is.
There is no Second Amendment in Washington, D.C. You cannot legally own a gun unless you are an active member of the military.
Yeah, I think
or
so.
Or an active member of some type of police.
Secret Service, CIA, FBI, whatever.
You have to have
an organization.
Right. You can't
just be Joe Schmo on the street.
Joe Schmo homeowner. Hey, here's my pistol in Washington, D.C.
No.
I don't care what you've heard. I don't care what they tell you. I've worked up there. I read the literature. You cannot own a gun in Washington, D.C.
Paywall.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying not to get...
No, you're cool. It's cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a jerk. Just paywall.
Anyway, a buddy of mine, people got shot in the chest. Every X-ray, about 50% of the X-rays we put up had bullets and shrapnel in them. It was like being in a war zone up there. This was 20 years ago.
I can't imagine what it's like now.
Talking about the bullet had entered the chest and gone through the bottom of the heart. He's literally... Like the story about the kid with his finger in the dike. He's literally got his hand in the guy's chest with his finger in the hole in the guy's heart till the doctor can get...
So basically he was stopping the bleeding.
He was helping control the bleeding.
And by sticking his finger down in this dude's bullet hole.
In the bullet hole in the guy's heart.
Damn.
And you know what's so cool, listener, in the future? There's going to be all those, I have forgotten more than I currently remember.
Yeah.
So there'll be these little memory triggers along the way.
Oh,
yeah, by the time the guy had the Craftsman screwdriver up his bunghole. Yeah, that type of stuff. I don't mean to be so glib about it, honestly.
No, because these are very harrowing.
The humor has helped me deal with it.
Hey.
Because it takes people. When you go to a funeral of your peers that have either died from substance abuse or suicide because
car wreck,
the stress of dealing with these type of traumatic situations. I mean, yeah, you get paid for it.
Sure, yeah.
But you're still a human being.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Hey.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah. Don't hurt me.
No. monetize the pain.
Monetize the pain.
That's all we're doing.
That's all we're doing.
Monetizing the pain.
It's monetizing the pain. You know.
As unfortunate as it is, it's all we have left.
That's all we've got left. I mean, you know.
Yeah, people get sideways about these harrowing stories, you know. Oh, all these people died, and someone cracks a joke.
Yeah, and it's like,
dude, this is all that we have left. What is
it's a coping
left?
mechanism, okay? You're not trying, I mean, you know the difference, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, there's a difference between...
In your spirit, you will know when somebody's gone over the line.
Yeah, there's a difference between a coping mechanism and a hate crime, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
I could be in a room with 100 of my peers, and every single one of them will tell you the exact same thing.
Yeah, buddy. All them nurses and doctors and the clerics.
You got to figure out a way to try to be. And this goes out to everybody. I mean, this is a tough. This is a tough time for everybody.
This year sucks.
This year 2020 sucks. But you got to figure out a way to laugh your way through the pain. You just do. You can cry. You can.
Crying's okay.
Crying's okay.
Yeah.
Crying's okay.
That's natural.
But I'm going to tell you something. When you're hitting that clock and you got an opportunity to cry every single solitary day, that takes its toll.
Yes.
Okay. And I've been there. Okay. When I first started doing this type of work, when I first started working ER, I can remember leaving in tears. I can remember going to break in tears, which is fine.
Yeah. As
long as you're not in the unit.
No.
On the floor in tears.
No.
We used to tell people, hey, you got to cry. You know,
go somewhere else.
Wait till you break.
Yeah, as callous as it sounds.
It sounds very callous, but we need you to, when you're in here, we need you to be functional.
Yes.
Okay, and if you need to just bottle it up and take care of it later, and honestly and truly, to do that job and stay as long as I did, and there's people that's done it longer.
Jeez.
The average length of time somebody stays in that type of job is 2 years. And I did it for 20. And there are people that did it longer than me.
Oh, yeah. God bless those people.
God bless those folk. But you have got to figure out a way.
They're also the same type of people who will sit on their porch in a rocking chair with a shotgun. No offense to people who do that, but those are definitely the people who are going to do that.
My buddy LP.
Yeah.
Sit on his porch in a pair of tighty whities and a wife beater with a double barrel shotgun. Dare anybody to come near his property.
Really?
Yeah, New Orleans.
Well, that makes sense.
After Hurricane Katrina, when people were looting. And he's got all that long hair and that beard. Oh my God. Oh, LP, I love you, brother.
Oh, that makes sense. You got to share this to him. Because he'll appreciate that.
You know what?
What?
We need to interview him.
One day.
One day.
We'll do it.
When we start interviewing people for this.
Yeah.
And we will.
We'll line up some of your people.
Because there's a lot of people that's got no shotgun on the show. Because you're not as cool as we are.
No.
But LP.
Landrew.
Yeah, my
Praise Landrew.
Praise Landrew.
Sulu said it first. Oh, no one's gonna get that reference.
No, nerd. Anyway,
you shut your ass up.
Yeah, we could interview. He'd get a kick out of it.
Oh yeah,
he would, man, and he would help me remember some stories. And he's got plenty of his own.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we definitely would.
Nurse out of New Orleans who drinks?
Well.
Hey, you from Louisiana, you drink.
He's from Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah.
He just chills in New Orleans.
He moved to New Orleans when he got legal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing against people from New Orleans or Louisiana, but okay, let's be honest. People who are from Louisiana, from New Orleans, who might listen to this, the voodoo scares me. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's something I don't want no part in. It's not that I purely don't understand it, which I don't. No. It's not something I've researched heavily.
You don't get much exposure to it because it's an African-based belief system.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing.
But...
And then there's that, there's
spooks
the Caribbean and the Creole influence. And
the hoodoo.
You know what's strange?
And the offshoots of all that. It's like, no, I don't want to mess with it. I've heard of so many bad things.
When I was in the 5th grade.
Nope. Yeah, what's up?
My school library.
Yeah.
It didn't say there was a book on voodoo, but because of being a minister's kid and just being interested in the spiritual aspect of things.
Yeah, you can't not be.
There was a book in my school's library.
Yeah.
About casting spells.
In the 5th grade.
In the 5th grade. It was a middle school library in North Carolina.
Yeah, this just sounds illegal now.
Yeah. There's a lot of candle-related incantation.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of candle stuff.
There's the occasion killing a chicken and zombies and all that jazz.
Technically speaking, the one small bit of I just stumbled across this one day. The one bit of voodoo hoodoo offshoot lore.
No, hoodoo is.
No, I know.
Yeah,
hoodoo is worse.
It's worse.
That's the dark stuff.
That's the dark stuff.
That's the real dark stuff.
That's the real stuff right there, yeah.
Yeah, that's the stuff that you don't hear about.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. You'll notice in pop culture when they do movies and things like that.
It's usually voodoo.
It's voodoo. But they, as a rule of thumb, won't mess with hoodoo. Yeah. And they shouldn't.
Yeah, imagine that. In Hollywood, where hardly anything is sacred anymore, they don't mess with hoodoo. Yeah, that's the real dark stuff.
It was like that when I was a kid.
That makes sense. But the one bit of voodoo lore that I do remember coming across, which was about the zombies, which are way different than how they're portrayed in mainstream media.
Yeah.
In mainstream media with Resident Evil and Train to Busan and Night of the Living Dead and all that stuff, the zombies are portrayed as these essentially humans who have just gone full zombie, full feral, and
feral. That's a good word. I like that.
And they just have this one thought of consuming human flesh as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
You know, and some movies take it seriously, some joke around with it, like Shaun of the Dead. I like Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead is fantastic.
Shaun of the Dead is fantastic.
Yes. And I'm just telling you. It's a good movie.
It is.
Well, to be fair, those two dudes, I like most of the stuff they put out.
Definitely.
And I know it's a cardinal sin, but I've yet to see Hot Fuzz. I'm going to. Trust me.
Oh, it's good.
I'm trying to, what was I? Oh, but in,
Voodoo Zombies.
In Voodoo Zombies, it is not like that at all.
No, it's like
It's less of a feral monster that consumes flesh and actually more of a servant laborer.
Yes. A servant laborer. Yeah. Absolutely.
It was something like they would
impose your control over another human being.
No, there's a recipe for it, like an actual like cooking
like a ritual
recipe
kind of thing.
No. Yes, but no. The practitioner of Voodoo, what they would do was what would happen was they would scope out a target. Because you always case the place. Right,
a target for a reason, whatever those are.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I don't know how to do this. I just know the vague process of how to do it. It was something like they would pick out the target and then they would make a potion, elixir, poison. It was something like poisonous snakes, tree frogs, a human skull, 2 puffer fish, and some other stuff, and they just brew it all together.
Eye of Newt.
Probably. And they would brew it all together, and they would come up with this zombie juice
potion.
But here's the thing: you're not supposed. This wasn't intended for the target to drink it. Well, you could, but basically, you had to get this substance. Mm-hmm. Into the target. So you trick them into drinking it, maybe pour it in their soup. I've heard another way was just straight up blow dart it.
A zombie enema?
I hadn't heard that one.
A zombie colonic.
Ugh.
That sounds like an interesting name for a cocktail.
Ugh. Or an Australian exploitation film. You know they would do it too.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes. And basically what this substance was supposed to do was induce a death-like paralysis.
Yeah.
So, and where this originated, the Haiti Caribbean region, / Africa,
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, them too. There too. Basically that general area of the world, areas of the world, it's very hot, and they ain't got a lot of refrigeration. Yeah. So anytime someone just drops dead for whatever reason, they bury them quickly.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: this person is paralyzed, not dead.
Yeah.
So after they were buried, the practitioner who got them the zombie juice, they would quickly dig up the person before they suffocated, do some sort of this is where the ritual comes into play, I believe. They would do some sort of ritual to trap the person's soul into either a gem or a jar, and now you got a zombie slave. Yeah, they're not meant for combat. They're not like a bioweapon of any sort. It's this is how you get.
Well, they just clean toilets or something.
I guess. Like the lore I've seen is they just do just chores around the house. They're, like I said, they're not meant for combat. They're actually pretty brittle, apparently.
There was this
and the only way in the lore says the only way for the zombie to be free of their curse, quotation marks, is for their creator to be destroyed.
Oh, well, that's that standard. Who made you?
Yeah, who made who? All that.
Who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just remember reading that and going, how come no one talks about this? Because I like this better. You ain't got to complicate things with science and
late 70s, early 80s, early to mid 80s. That genre was more popular in pop culture.
What voodoo exploitation or something?
Yes, there was a film called The Serpent.
The Serpent and the Rainbow. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it before.
It's actually pretty good.
Wow.
The guy that. What's his name? Mm-hmm. The guy that was the president in. What's his name? Bill Pullman?
Bill Pullman? You mean Lone Star?
Yeah, Lone Star.
Yeah,
Lone Star.
Yeah, Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman, yeah.
Yeah,
I think he was like the main character in that. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm looking this up because I haven't.
Lone Star.
Yeah, I swear to God, that and Independence Day, the only two roles.
Yeah, he was wasn't he the president in
Independence Day?
Yeah,
yes.
I think that was the guy. I think that was the guy.
Sir.
Serpent and the Rainbow.
The Rainbow.
But I think that was more of
yeah, that's him.
Would blow the dart the dust
up
their nose or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a little spooky.
Yeah, I'm looking at the thumbnail for the trailer on YouTube, and I'm like, oh my God!
Yeah, that's
like even for horror, that looks a little like
Yeah, and then there was
and here's another
itself into
and there's another thumbnail which looks even worse.
Yeah,
it's like ooh.
There was a James Bond film that came out that was very voodoo centered.
That
had Jane Seymour in it. Oh my God.
That dude, no. That movie with the witch doctor in that Bond movie, that had to have been the inspiration for Dr. Facilier in the Princess and the Frog, the Disney movie. He is the only he's in my opinion he's the only good part of that movie. Him and his song.
Him and
'Cause I got friends on the other side.
Yeah.
That is the best song in the movie. You cannot tell me
He had a very
otherwise.
famous. He had a very famous laugh, and he
Mhm.
would do these 7-Up commercials.
What?
Diancola. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
There was also that
big shiny head.
Yeah. There was also there was like a kind of a progenitor to metal music, like a primordial soup level progenitor. What was his name? He Screaming.
Oh, Screaming Jim Hawkins.
Yes. What the heck now?
I know it ain't prime this late.
It better not be Prime this
Better
late.
not
I
be
swear
Prime.
to God.
What is his name? Screaming Jim Hawkins.
I think so.
I'll put a spell on you.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Please ignore the German Shepherd. Yeah, he's not-
'Cause you mine.
yeah, he definitely had to have been some sort of influence on the James Bond
yeah.
movie, and then the James Bond movie influenced literally everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Screaming Jay Hawkins.
Screaming Jay Hawkins.
Screaming Jay Hawkins.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's him.
That's him.
He's good.
I
like him.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Jay Hawkins.
Yeah, he had to have been like, he definitely was like a progenitor of the shock rock.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, which, you know, I guess some people want to debate on this.
Well,
Arguably, Alice Cooper became the pinnacle of. I don't care about Marilyn Manson. Shut the hell up.
Oh, no. Marilyn Manson hadn't made near the money that
No.
Alice Cooper has.
Yeah.
Nor does he have he doesn't even have 20% of Cooper's reputation.
Talent.
No, I don't like Marilyn Manson. Yes, I would prefer, and I don't really care for Alice Cooper. There's a lot of people that think he's the greatest thing in the world.
No.
I don't dislike him, but that's just not my style of music.
I appreciated Alice Cooper because the first time this is gonna sound so corny. The first time I personally what?
I know where you're going.
What, Wayne's World?
Yes.
Wayne's World, party time, excellent. Yeah, that is the first time I saw Alice Cooper, and the first time I heard Alice Cooper speak.
Yeah.
Like, I had heard his songs, but I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know what he sounded like. And then all these years later, when I do research, I find out, wait, he's not acting. That's him.
That's him. Yeah.
Because what I always imagined was, I never thought Alice Cooper was malicious or worshiped the devil or any of that crazy nonsense.
It was all so campy.
It's campy, you know, like Ozzy. Ozzy's not the Antichrist.
No. He just was just so messed up on dope and booze.
Yeah,
you couldn't tell
you couldn't tell the difference.
Couldn't tell the difference.
No, but I always anticipated Alice Cooper being more gruff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Not evil, just gruff.
No,
No,
he's like a.
He's very soft spoken.
He's like a refined golf playing, tuxedo wearing Republican. I mean, you know.
And he looks like the goth granddad.
He does, doesn't he?
But yeah, he's very well spoken, very soft spoken, preacher's kid.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Which makes so much sense.
It does. I mean, you know, anybody that grows up in a childhood, it's like if your parent is a thug, you want to be a cop.
Yeah.
If your parent is a cop, you want to be a thug. You know, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
but well, here's the thing. With you understand this way better than me.
Yeah.
I only get like secondhand knowledge of since you're the preacher's kid.
Yeah.
I have noticed technically 3 outcomes for children and grandchildren of preachers and ministers and priests and whatever. Missionaries.
Yep.
I can't speak for rabbis because I ain't sure.
Sure.
Except this probably happens.
Children
to them
rabbis
too.
usually become rabbis.
Yeah, but
That's your Al Jolson. Anyway.
Hey, Walt.
All
Okay, so I guess this does apply to the rabbis then. Basically, children and grandchildren of a spiritual person.
Yeah.
Now, does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. As a rule, they will follow 3 paths. As a rule, sometimes it's mostly 2, but a lot of times sometimes it's 3, but a lot of times it's 2. Okay, there we go. They will either, the third somewhat untreaded path to a degree is they grow up and they just be a normal person. You know, they're the child or grandchild of a spiritual person and they like get a normal everyday job or something like that.
It happens.
They become prosperous or they don't, and they just have a normal job.
Sure.
But the 2 most popular paths, as a rule, is hang on. Okay, I was just checking if I got that message, because if I do, I'm gonna kill someone in the morning at work. Don't worry.
Figurative speaking, of course.
Nope, for realsies. It's work related. You ain't gotta worry about it. The 2 common paths for children and grandchildren of spiritual people is they either go into the exact same field, like what you said.
Yeah.
Kids of rabbis become rabbis and all that.
As a rule.
Or the second path is they grow up to be very twisted. Not evil.
Not evil. No.
You understand what evil looks like.
Absolutely.
As a rule.
Oh, my Lord.
But you become twisted.
Well, it can warp you because you can... I don't know. It took me a long time to figure this out because for the longest time, it was like, why am I, the ego talking, right?
Yeah.
Why am I smarter than you? It's just that you are exposed to elements that, first of all, most people are never exposed to.
No.
And people that are exposed to it, you get it a lot earlier.
Yeah.
I've said this many times, a lot of the Bible is my alphabet. I've said that many times. A lot of people will go, they look at something and they'll go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And when I look at stuff, I go, oh, that's from Genesis and that's from Exodus and that's from Matthew. And that's it's just it's my default. It's my base. It's my operating system.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not choose. Just happens to be the way that I was wired because that was my experience at the time. Yeah. And
thank God you were functional too.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some preacher men.
And actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, people say, "Well, you think you're so good." Actually, it's a pain in the ass. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It has been. It has been.
What people think you're better than them just because of this?
Well, if I'm smarter than another person, does that make me better? But if I beat them in a foot race, I am. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they got a hang up about that sort of stuff.
We'll discuss it later.
Yeah, if I understood the language 3 years before you started reading, does that give me an edge? Well, of course it does.
You're true.
It gives me an edge in understanding certain things.
I gotcha.
So I mean, people can read it in a negative way. We've all talked about that. A fast person can marry a fast person and have fast kids, and everybody's cool with that. But if a smart person marries a smart person and they have smart kids, people got a problem with it. What are you trying to say? Your kid's smarter than my kid? Well, that kid's dad was or mom was a nuclear physicist, so probably. Yeah, no, that's definitely a paywall
a good one
conversation.
More depth,
I just don't understand why people get so hung because it's obvious.
Yeah, I get it. I don't understand it too, but we'll discuss it later.
We will.
It's not we're trying to deprive you folk of engagement. It's just there are just some things that we want to talk about. Here's the thing. Every time I bring up the word paywall argument or paywall podcast, we're not trying to be greedy.
No.
It's just there are some things that YouTube and the Facebooks and the Twitters, whatever, there's just certain things you talk about on their platform and they get so effing weird and they, slander you, dox you, ban you, whatever.
Unlike 30 years ago,
Yeah.
that one irritating kid, that 1 out of 50 irritating kid that everybody disliked so much that they didn't want to hang out with, to the point that when you were with everybody else and playing and having fun, when you saw that one kid walking toward your group, you would act like, oh, we just finished playing, and you would make plans to meet up somewhere else because you didn't want to entertain that one kid that got on everybody's nerves. Well, now that one kid, there's millions of them, and they all got cell phones, and they all interject themselves into everybody's business. And you know what? It wouldn't matter. The only reason that you are even relevant is because you have a device that injects you into situations and conversations that the other 99% of the people don't want you involved in.
Yeah, you can't run away from that guy.
Because you can't run away from them anymore.
No.
And now they have control because they are the squeaky wheel.
Yep.
They are the people that the thing about it, the thing that gives them their power, is the claim of victimization. Once again, a paywall.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no way to talk about that element without getting into a point where
we just have to monetize it because there's no other way.
And once they start paying the bills, I'm going to bring out the wood, buddy.
I get it. I get it.
I'm gonna start dropping the, figuratively speaking, of course. I'm gonna start dropping the hammer on some issues and some things.
I get it.
And I'm gonna calling people. I'm gonna call people out by name.
All right.
Challenge them to sharp sticks and whittling knives out in the yard.
Pretty much. I mean, they have Patreon only streams and whatnot. So if you just want to start just jabbering at somebody live and in person, you just want to be
a troll. Yeah, I want to be a troll, but I'm gonna get paid, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Monetize the pain.
Monetize pain.
Sometimes it's not our pain.
Oh my, that's even better. I'm gonna monetize your pain. That's right.
Yeah, I've repeatedly told you to stay off of Reddit because you're going to find plenty of that there.
Yeah. I think I've done a pretty good job on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, we're not trying to withhold anything.
No.
It's just, you got to be careful about what you talk about because, oh my God, people just, I even have some paywall stuff like Shea Moisture. Not the brand, just what happened recently. Shea.
Shea.
Shea Moisture.
Oh, Shea Moisture.
Yeah, that brand.
That sounds like a good name for a channel. Shame Oyster. Shame Oyster.
What? Anyway, dang it! I already mentioned the brand, and we're not sponsored. Anyway,
no.
I got my own little I got my own paywall only stuff, but that's just something else. It's more personal stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta be friggin' careful, and it just makes me upset.
It makes me upset because I lived through a time when you could say absolutely, positively anything. And I hope some people that know me, that I graduated high school with, there's a handful of you, I definitely wish you were listening. Oh, you had all those stones, and you had all the backbone to say all that stuff back in the day, but you ain't got the nads to say it now because you're scared, and that annoys me. Because I'm disappointed.
Oh,
I'm disappointed in these people. Now there was an element to them that I picked up on that said, maybe
you're a poser.
Maybe you're a poser. I kind of knew you were.
Yeah.
But now that you've proven you were and you are, not only am I disappointed, I'm annoyed.
That's why we don't take you anywhere, Phil.
That's why I don't take you anywhere, Phil.
But anyway, at this rate, the only people you specifically could competently have a conversation / debate with, I don't want to name Ben Shapiro, but people of his ilk.
Well, I mean,
because here's the thing, he doesn't. Yes.
I don't know. He's
I don't agree with everything he says.
No, I don't agree with everything he says.
But he'll at least listen to you sometimes.
Well, that's my whole thing.
And give you a retort.
My point is when you start calling people names.
Yes. What is it? Ad hominem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you kick in the ad hominem,
Yeah.
I want to get the rope.
What?
I want to get the rope.
What do you mean rope?
What do you do with rope?
Oh, God. Them or you?
Them.
Oh.
It
Wait till they stick their necks in.
What and I enjoy it. I
Yeah.
do. I enjoy to a point.
Yeah.
It irritates me, but I enjoy it. These people that it isn't a matter of you talk about how much you understand something.
Yeah.
You talk about how the other person is out of bounds.
Yes.
But then you get backed into a corner and then you call somebody a name. Man, that makes me want to start swinging.
What, you mean like the lawyer?
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
That dude.
Hey, I'm a lawyer and I know this. Okay, well, if you're a lawyer, how about answer me this? And they go, well, I'm not really that experienced in this area. I said, well, you're the one that, in talking about you're a lawyer.
Shut up, buddy.
Yeah, shut up, buddy. Why would you even engage somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And people say, well, maybe he's not a lawyer. Well, maybe he isn't. I don't know. Okay.
Well, he's clearly an idiot.
And what I'm saying is you dismiss. I don't dismiss other people.
Yeah. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I don't.
No, I'm just saying to the whole thing because here. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But no one wants their bubble burst.
Well, that's true. Which law of power is that?
Shh.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Hey, look, I'm already
People don't like.
I'm already neck deep in talking crap about my superiors.
Yeah.
I don't need them to think I'm anything other than.
One of these days, you're going to have to break down. You're going to have to read the Zen, and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
Yes.
Pearson. It will. It will
explain some stuff.
It will. You won't have to have me explain it. He makes a clear distinction between. There's two types of mindset in this world. One is classical, and one is romantic.
Mm-hmm.
And this disruption that we are experiencing in this world is because there are so many people that not only embrace romantic, but they will not even consider the classical mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish at times
yes,
I could be one of those people. But I'm just not wired that way.
No.
I'm not wired that way.
Yeah, I know.
I was.
Yeah.
And then the event that took place in my young life at
I get
14, that kind of...
that makes sense.
we talked about that. We said, when you find out that life's not a movie or a TV show,
mm-hmm.
that loss of innocence, it'd be nice if you could hang on to that.
Mm-hmm.
But,
no, I get it. But the main thing for me in terms of that, obviously classical, practical, mindset, which can kind of gridlock some people. I mean,
it does. It does.
Oh my God, how long it took for us to even start this damn podcast because we're both like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And then there's the fantasy of all the people. I see them all the time on TikTok, and I'm just like, hey, you're clipping the microphone. Oh God, I felt that in my brain.
Ooh.
That hurt. But I see these people all the time on TikTok. Obviously people are just playing stuff up for the views, and I get it because that's how the internet works. Duh.
Clickbait.
Oh yes, clickbait. I get it, and I just see all this whimsical stuff, and I'm just like, what planet is this from? Because I want to go there. Like, seriously, for realsies.
Right.
Another thing I've always been curious about with TikTok is, I don't know, like I said, I know people dramatize some stuff for views, but for the people who don't exaggerate for views, but they're dead serious,
mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is about TikTok that makes people bare their souls to millions upon millions of people, of strangers.
It isn't TikTok. I've seen that dynamic
Really?
very often.
What is it? I mean, granted, we're engaging in a form of that ourselves.
Yeah. But
I'm talking about...
There's certain things on... I don't care how much money is involved. There's certain things on here I am not going to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. I have seen so many people on TikTok and social media in general, but most recently TikTok, because that's the hot new thing, like talking about how they had to, like, they've been abused, toxic parents-in-law, narcissistic parents, just abuse and neglect, and how they survived it all, and how, they're trying to, recover through it all. And for the people who are not exaggerating, I'm just like, why do you... why?
I think people like to entertain the idea of normalcy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And they... and it's also an ego thing.
Really?
Don't you care for me? Doesn't everybody care for me?
I can
let
see
me
that.
tell you, because a lot of stuff you hear, 90% of what you hear is absolutely positively true.
Mm.
Then there's that 10% of embellishment,
yeah.
You had a dishwasher box to live in? Well,
yeah.
We lived in you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
everybody tries to outdo each other.
Yeah, we're not trying to downplay the horror of this. I
just want to understand it.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of this discussion is about. You and I are out here trading ideas and thoughts and comments. And
why would you bare your souls to strangers? Like, does that count as a cry for help?
It can be.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But I don't think it is 100% of the time.
True. No. Like I said, we're not trying to downplay this. We just want to understand why this takes place. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. We want to understand.
Because, so far as... All right. To understand would be to find a problem's solution.
Which, again, goes back to that classical minded thing you were speaking of. I don't know. Maybe I should just...
I'm going to tell you, human behavior is so interesting.
Yes. It is so fascinating.
It's fascinating.
Like, if I had the monetary gains, I would probably go get a degree in psychology, because I'm either psychology and or sociology.
Right, because you need at least a PhD.
Yeah.
And who in the heck wants to spend $400,000 so you can get a $29,000 a year job?
Exactly.
So you would do it if
my
you
whole
didn't need the money.
Exactly. Yeah. I would do it just to learn. I would do it just to get access to the information. You don't even have to give me a certificate or degree. I just want to have access to the books.
If I didn't have to work for a living, I definitely would engage in it, because I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah. It's kind of why I always had this plan ever since I was a kid to get so many degrees and, minors and associate's degree, bachelors and all that stuff. It's not because I wanted to prove how smart I was. I just wanted access to information that I thought was hella cool.
Yeah.
Like sociology, which is essentially how literally everything operates.
Right. I mean, how fascinating it is, that you can sit in a class and learn about a group of people and their motives and their goals.
Yes.
When that group of people, they themselves don't understand their own motives and exactly what their goals are.
Yes.
But those motivations and those goals are 100% a part of every group.
Literally every group.
Everyone.
Yeah.
That type of thing, that dynamic fascinates me.
Oh, yeah. And plus, another thing that fascinates me about psychology and sociology is you see things in your life, not you specifically, but in general. You see things take place and you go, the hell was that?
And when you begin to see it repeat.
And then you go, what the hell is that?
I've seen the same dynamic in groups of religious people.
Yes.
Football players. Political organizations. It's the same. It's just the name is different.
The terms are different. But it's the same dynamic.
exact same dynamic.
And then you go into these psychology, sociology, and all these adjacent classes, and you find that the dynamics you've witnessed your whole life between different groups, different people, different situations, they have a name.
Right.
That was what tripped me up so hard when I took those classes, those psychology and sociology classes, there were names for these things that I kept seeing take place. You know the whole thing with one thing with it's big with one big thing is how do I approach this diplomatically? A person on the oh god, all right, I gotta commit to this. A person who had received an inappropriate delivery of sausage, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
People are, yes, I'm going there. And here's the thing: whenever this takes place, it doesn't really matter. Well, it kind of does, but it doesn't. I don't want to get into that. Paywall.
No.
There's this thing where, despite the fact this happened to a person, the victim, people will blame the victim. And I always saw that, and I'm like, why? It's not their fault.
No, it isn't.
And in psychology, there's a name for that.
Right.
I don't remember the name. It was like the just world theorem or something like that, where basically there is an aspect to humanity where, for the most part, deep-seated in our hearts or souls or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
We want to believe the world is just and fair. The righteous, good, they are rewarded, and the wicked, the bad, are punished. So when things happen that don't go by that logic,
don't fit into the way we want to see the world.
Yes. They look towards typically the victim.
Right.
What did you do?
How dare you break
this?
Bring reality into my delusion.
When in actuality, they need to be pointing at the person the perpetrator. Because they're the ones that broke this theorem.
Right.
But they don't do that.
But they don't do that. It's easier to go after the victim.
Because it's just an easy target.
Because it's
path of least resistance, all that fun stuff.
Absolutely, lowest common denominator.
Yeah, and honestly,
And why people can't become self-aware of that and pull back and go, "Hey, wait a minute."
Yeah, wait a freaking minute. What the
this
heck?
isn't the right way to feel about this.
I don't know.
But they do. Even people that say they don't, they really do.
I get it, but I'm just like, in terms of social engineering...
How dare you burst my bubble?
Yes, in terms of social engineering and biology and possibly evolutionariness, whatever, somebody dropped the ball on that. I'm just going to tell you that right now. That is stupid. I remember being told the story in psychology...
But are we socialized into it, or are we designed that way? See, that's the other thing.
Whole nature versus nurture? Exactly. Why not both?
Could be both.
But I've always heard this story in college. It was it was something like a rich man has a mansion on an island, and the only way to the mainland is this bridge. Mm-hmm. And the rich man is away all the time because he just runs his business, and his wife, because, she's alone all the time, she has a string of lovers. And anytime the lover gets, too attached, they start, being all lovey-dovey, she just cuts off the relationship.
Right.
So this one time, this wife, she basically, it's usually a chick, mind you.
True.
In these stories, I mean.
Well, that's how they sell movies in this country.
Yeah, for some reason. I don't know. And we have masterpieces like Train to Busan that are out of our reach until we go looking. That's a crime.
Yep.
But she basically has to get back to the mansion before he shows up and figures out that he had been unfaithful, because then she'll be out on her ass, obviously. So, the story goes, like, she goes to lover 1, he says no, she goes to lover 2, they say no, tries to convince a fisherman to row her ass over to the island, and they're like, ma'am, you are not gonna pay me, and I know that, I gotta feed my family. And she goes to several different people to help her get back on this island, or to this place.
Mm-hmm.
And when she decides, hey, I'm just gonna go cross the bridge, there's like some maniac with a knife or a sword on the bridge that's like, hey, you, toll, or I'm gonna stab you, or something like that. And
okay.
She's like, I don't have my wallet or anything. And he's like, I guess you're not going to cross. And she, at some point, she tries to evade and cross her bridge to her house. And this maniac stabs her. And she dies.
Right.
And at the end of the story, the teacher will usually say, okay, so this woman dies. Who's to blame for this woman's death? There is one correct answer.
Sounds obvious to me.
And that is...
her?
No.
Who?
The maniac! Because he's the one that killed her.
Oh.
And that's exactly the point that the story's trying to prove.
Well, I mean, there's... that's a good observation, but, I mean...
Is it flawed? Yeah.
Well, no, he told her the conditions of crossing.
Yeah.
It's not like, she was crossing and he just came out of nowhere for no reason, no how, and she had no previous knowledge of the situation.
Like I said, the story is it's structured differently depending on the teacher, but every single time I heard it, I was like, the dude that killed her is the one responsible for her death, because that's how it works. Never mind how good...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Regardless of how good or bad the victim is, they're not the one that died. They're not the one that got the inappropriate delivery. Because it's the other person that did it. That physically did it. And I heard that story so many times in college that I'm just like...
I see.
I don't have to take notes. Excuse me. Yeah, and I don't mean to get all uncool and heavy, I mean.
No.
I want a break. Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Well, it's kind of like...
And that's basically what happens.
Yeah, I can see a form of that.
Yeah, like I said, it's not flawless.
No.
But it gets the point across.
Well, it's kind of like, if you don't stay off my property, I'll shoot you.
Yeah.
But then you go on that property.
But that wasn't his bridge. That's the thing.
Oh, well, I don't know.
But anyway, I know I didn't explain the story fully enough, but it's just a...
No. There's people there. I understand, because it's kind of like, it's the whole thing with the inappropriate delivery of.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what were you wearing?
Yeah.
Now.
And that
is
ticks me off.
Yeah, because it's like it doesn't matter.
It happened. So fix what happened. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's what that story is basically trying to talk about, to a degree.
Right.
It's almost 10 o'clock, and I gotta go to bed.
Woo!
Alright, I'm tired, and I would love to continue this, but, we still have actual jobs.
Yes.
At this particular point.
Not for long.
Maybe.
I get that big lottery win.
Excuse me. Oh, I thought it was going to be 5 times louder than it should have been.
It normally is.
Yeah, I normally shake the house.
Freaking rattles the pictures on the wall.
Yeah, don't mean to. It just happens.
It just happens.
All right. I'm tired and I need to go to bed. I need a skincare routine because I have that.
Never has so much time passed and absolutely nothing was said.
Some things were said.
Well, no, I just mean it. Commiserating. Talk amongst
Riverville. I don't know all the words, man.
No, I just these.
I know some words.
It's
English good.
It's yeah, good, most good,
most goodly,
most goodly,
double plus good.
I enjoy these little tangents every now and then.
Oh yeah.
Didn't have quite the spark as the last two episodes.
Oh my god.
But I'm telling you,
the last
14 is magic. It's absolute. I know people are going to look at the title of it and they're going to say, I'm not really interested in that particular.
Yes, you are.
Listen to it. Okay. It isn't just what we talk about. It's how we talk about it.
And the Rammstein joke.
Well, the Rammstein joke. It's kind of like, what's a good song that's been covered today?
I don't listen to music anymore. Let me phrase that. I don't listen to current music anymore.
It's like a good song that just gets covered every now and then.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't necessarily are in love with the song. You're in love with the way this particular band performs it.
I don't want to say Hurt by Johnny Cash because I know your feelings about that, but that's the only thing that's popping in my mind.
I don't know anything about that. Honestly.
Yeah, it's too late in the day for you to, or too late in the night for you to discuss that.
Kind of is, I guess. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe when I'm, maybe before lunch.
Oh, yeah, because then you'll get 4 hours in.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it isn't just what we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It's how we talk about it.
Yes.
Because you're going to, listener, you're going to hear a lot of people talk about a lot of different things that you've heard 1,000 times before.
Oh, that's what you're getting at.
But
okay.
Once again, it's just like being a writer. It's just like being a singer.
Yeah.
It's what you bring to it.
Yes.
It's what we bring to it. That's it.
Although I don't know of any podcast that's going to top the Mortal Kombat story.
Oh, I got a few.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you would seek that out.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense.
There's a couple of stories that I'm just waiting to pop out.
Ooh.
But I'm not going to. But it's going to be when I saw this movie by Orson Welles the other day, he said that the best films, he basically would put people in a room and tell them kind of the which way and what their character was supposed to do.
Yeah.
He said the best films explored either beautiful accidents or divine accidents. In other words, it's like how well we come in here and not really have a format.
Not really. We just jabber.
We just go.
Yeah.
But every now and then, just like
14.
Do Germans.
No.
Do Germans have puns?
Stop it. No.
It turns into something magical. You see what I'm saying? Episode 14.
Oh, God, I hope the band does not hear that joke because I'm going to get hazed so bad.
You might get free tickets. You never know.
I could get a lot of things. They're German. What are you expecting? But anyway, I am tired. I'm literally falling asleep because that frickin' circadian rhythm. I am just struggling to stay awake. All right. Yeah, I hate to cut it short. Well, it's not short. No, we're not cutting it short.
But if we don't cut it off, we're going to talk for another hour.
Yeah, we got to work tomorrow. Well,
yeah.
Which sucks, but whatever.
All
right. Well, that's it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Scratch.
And we'll see you listeners next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Bye.